They say save the best for last. I just wanted to have a guy that's got less hair than me on last.
Easy.
So
Here we go.
Men's basketball coach Pat Kelsey
So what am I
joins
doing
us
here?
now. Yeah, well, I didn't have a choice on that one now, did I? Pat Kelsey joins us now. We're going to ask you a bunch of the same questions you've heard from 52 other people today, but there are two actual difficult questions of consequence we need to address before we move on to everything about the team. And the biggest one is the Winthrop family suffered a loss this weekend in Sir Lawrence Darby, someone that meant a lot to a lot of the players, administrators, coaches. What was your experience with him?
Well, I saw him every single morning, and you know, he was at everything. He came to every game. He was there before the game. He stayed after the game. He had personal relationships with every single one of our players, cared about them, gave them advice, cheered for them, picked them up when they were down. My nickname for him was L-Train. I don't know why, but from Coach Prosser was a big nickname guy, so I affectionately give everybody a nickname that I care about, and he was L-Train. So every day I said, "What's up, L-Train?" And we talk NFL, or you know, we talk about our team, and he'd give me some of his opinions sometimes I liked, sometimes I didn't. That's kind of how he was, but he was one of those guys that was fully invested. He loved his job. He loved Winthrop. He loved our student athletes. He loved our coaches. He loved the institution. And, you know, although he wasn't a guy that was, you know, on television standing on the sideline, or, you know, that was a head coach, or that was, you know, in the front of the media guide, or that, you know, online picture. But he was an integral part of you know, the heartbeat of our athletic department. And he's going to be sorely missed. Our guys were broken up when they found out the other day. You know, and it's a big loss, and it's a sad day for the Winthrop Eagles, that's for sure.
The other difficult question is, your program is really good. 2 years ago, you won 20 games, then 19 games. Last year, 23 games. You're the unanimous preseason choice. That's only happened 4 times in school, 4 times in league history. The other 3 have all gone on to win and go to the NCAA tournament. But you have been in the championship game the last 3 years, and you have lost the championship game. That's part of the narrative. Do you look back at those games? Do you think about those games? Or is it a new season and you've got a really good team and you're really excited about it?
Well, it's in our DNA as coaches to hold on to losses. We just do that. You know, there's an old saying in coaching, sometimes you hate losing more than you enjoy winning. and the losses, they beat you up. They beat you up. They just, you know, take days off your life, I think, every time you lose a game, because it just wears on you. And obviously the one that ends the season is the one that you have to think about the entire off season, and it leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and it takes you 3 or 4 weeks, maybe more, to really kind of get right, even at home. Yeah, especially those first couple of days, and Lisa will always grab me and say, you know, snap out of it. You know what I mean? Go change that diaper. Go take the garbage out, man. The grass has to be cut. But you just pour so much into a season, and especially at the end of the year, your engine is running so high. It's always on to the next prep, the next game, the next scout, getting your guys right, getting your team right. And you're just so invested emotionally in that, and then boom, it ends. And that's just not college basketball. That's in sports in general. It's such a unique profession in that regard. The highs and lows, the peaks and the valleys, and then the stops. And if it's not a stop, it's the exhilarating win, you know, and just that drug almost. So, yeah, I mean, you asked, it's human nature. Absolutely, I think about it, you know. But I think about, you know, the loss at High Point down the stretch. I think about the game at Coastal when we got smacked by 20 last year. You know, it's amazing. I can pinpoint the losses last year more than I can probably remember the wins, which is a little bit sad. But it's kind of how it is. Yeah, absolutely, we think about it.
When you look at your roster coming back, you return a lot of big pieces. The one big departure, and not to downplay Zach Price, but you bring back Tevin Prescott, who can play that role to some degree, is Jimmy Gavin. Who replaces him?
We'll see. We don't know yet. You know, it's we're 2.5 or 3 weeks into practice with 2.5 weeks to our first game. And our practices, you were there yesterday, are extremely competitive. And there's a lot of guys that are vying for minutes. And part of this preseason is, roles being defined. It's being defined by performance every single day in practice. Like you can't relax. You can't take a day off. You can't chill because, and I think that's a hallmark of a good team and a good program and a good organization when you have internal competition for playing time and for spots. I didn't know how good Jimmy Gavin was last year this time. I had no idea. I mean, I thought he was going to be really good, but I didn't know he was going to be first-team all-conference. And he did some stuff last preseason. I was like, gosh darn, he can't guard anybody. Man, is he ever going to make a shot? Then he goes out and absolutely killed it. So that's the deal over with everybody right now. That's the deal with every team in this conference. You don't know. Us being the preseason favorite is because people are familiar with us and our guys. They're knowns. They're known commodities. I think that's what our team is overall, is people know our players, know our team. That's not the case with everybody because of a lot of the turnover in the league, but there's really good coaches here that can really recruit. And the programs that lost a lot, probably replaced a lot of really good players. And we'll talk to each other 2 months from now and go, gosh, that player and that guy's really good. And it'll be like it always is. It'll be a dogfight down the stretch.
You have the preseason player of the year in Keon Johnson. And one of the things I always love seeing about Media Day, Pat, is the growth in players from their freshman year to their senior year. Not just on the court, but Keon's a guy that is we were talking to him beforehand before we went into the luncheon, and he was cracking jokes with us. And it's something he might not have done 2 years ago. It's just fun seeing the growth in these guys.
And that's what's cool about you guys, how intimately you are involved in our program. You're there every day. You're at practice. You talk to our guys in the high moments and the low moments when, in post games after exhilarating wins and post games after tough losses, and you see their true colors, and so it's interesting for you. I think that's really cool to see your perspective, to see how Keon's grown, because I've seen it. Yeah. He's just by nature a very quiet, conservative kid that doesn't say a lot and doesn't get worked up and get high with the high, lows with the lows, but he has definitely emerged, so to speak, from his shell a little bit. And as you guys know, when you get to know him, he's funny. Yeah. He is a witty kid. He's a smart aleck, and when he smiles, he lights up a room. So it's funny to hear you say that.
We only have a very brief amount of time left. Your team was good last year. You're going to be good again this year. If there's one area you'd like to improve upon, one area of emphasis to get better
I think the one area that I'd want to improve in is filling that Coliseum. I think one area that I would really like to see a jump, and I'm asking and I'm begging and I'm pleading and I'm asking people to invest in this team and to grab it, to take the ownership and to come out and watch us play. We're not going to be perfect. Probably won't win every game, but we have. You look at what happened today. We have a team that's picked to win this conference. It's not going to be easy. It is going to be a dogfight. But we play an exciting brand. We get up and down the court. We score a lot of points. We got interesting storylines. We got great personalities. It's a great product. I want to see, I said it earlier today, I want to see a District 3 stadium atmosphere at the Coliseum. I want to see I want to see South Point, Northwestern, over there with the roof on over on Eden Terrace. And what a cool thing that would be. Hopefully in March, it's a packed house for the finals if we host, and with a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. But why wait till March? Yeah. Let's do it in November. Let's do it in December.